You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the only one media group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, there are 27,000 of you guys on the line with us this morning. Oh my goodness, you're gonna break the internet, but that's okay, right? Because we can house all of you guys here on this line, no matter what time of day it is, right? So the power of negative thinking. And let's be honest about it. Life is scary. I know. You're supposed to be a grown-up and not supposed to be afraid of anything. But at 3 a.m, when you're lying awake, unable to sleep because you're worried about where you're going to get the money for the house payment, life can be frightening. And sometimes it can be very useful to admit that. Most of the time, we keep a stiff upper lip. We try to maintain a positive attitude to think that things will always get better. And there is much value in that. But there comes time when you just need to deal with all the nagging little negative thoughts that build up as a result of your attempt to be positive all the time. You know you have doubts all the time. You're often afraid to admit them even to yourself, but they're there. They eat away at you because you never let them out. Actually, negative feelings are healthy. They temper your enthusiasm with a dose of reality and remind you that there are risks in everything that you do. They help you remember to be careful, but if they build up inside you and are never dealt with, then they can immobilize you. So every now and then, you're feeling particularly blue, it's time to have a out-and-out bitching and moaning section. Yeah, and if you raise such an event to the status of a ritual, that is, if you intentionally decide to do it, you can be very productive and beneficial to you. So give it a try. Sit down and think about one of the problems in your life. Really dwell on it. Think of all the reasons why it makes your hopes and dreams and goals impossible to accomplish. In your mind, let your problem put a negative slant on every aspect of your life. Then start having some fun with it. Start with a little exaggeration. Add some melodrama and maybe a little obscenity. Say to yourself something like, the truth is, I can't stand your little business venture. I hate you for ever even thinking of it. I thought things were fine just the way they were. I'm really too lazy to bother with all of it. I'm really too lazy to write this song, to record it, to shoot a music video, to go to the Grammys. Too lazy for that. Nah, I can't do that. I think I'll just eat a lot of chocolate and donuts and get very fat and watch Game of Thrones for the rest of my life. I'm truly happy with that, right? Well, you get the idea. Really revel in your misery to the point where it becomes funny. And you'll notice that your energy level starts to go up because negativity is energy and it can get you moving when you let it come out. Have you ever seen a healthy 2-year-old who lacks energy? Of course not, because 2-year-olds know something that we have forgotten, the value of a good tantrum. Yeah, temper tantrum. If you keep your doubts and negative feelings bottled up inside, they eventually gain control of you. But letting them out in a good tantrum puts you back in the driver's seat. Acknowledging your problems and your doubts give you control over them. Getting furious about them will give you the energy you need to overcome them. So every now and then, think negative. It could have a very positive influence on your life. Take it from me, Dini.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos and starseeds, and 2 times for my people who are vegans. We are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners, and we've been at this for 3 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we're still growing, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at theradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you again, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. You know the number to dial. It's 701-801-9813 to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in and mix directly from my website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Scroll over to the Vigilantes Radio tab and slap that Go Live button, and you'll be right here live in the mix with all of us, or in the chat room. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here. And as always, all episodes are available for free download. You can grab that from Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep 27,000 of you guys waited any longer, right? So let's go ahead and dive deep into this interview. And this morning's interview is the A Different Point of View interview, and I am definitely your host, dini-mussolini. All right, guys, so our interviews go beyond the music and into the minds of the artists and bands that create it. From researching our guests, relentlessly mining for all the details, and listening to everything we can, our interviews are designed to bring out the best possible answers possible through thought-provoking questions that have some real substance. Yeah, we're kind of like TMZ. I take that back. We're not like TMZ. Real substance. Yeah, that's the key word there. As a part of our ongoing commitment to help an undiscovered and even discovered musical and video talent get exposed worldwide, Vigilantes Radio will host interviews regularly with in-depth questions and answers and pass them on to you, the music lovers. So take some time, take a chill pill. I know it's too early for a brewski, but there's coffee, right? And tea, of course. Listen in about a great crew in hip-hop that you might not have ever heard of before. Or maybe you did. I mean, there's so many of you guys here. And no, it's not for Dini. It has to be for a different point of view, right? Well, of course. So this morning, it's the crew, A Different Point of View. Not only are they great people to talk to, but all their members have been around the scene long enough to have seen the musical warfare and settle in for the battle in the trenches. And the front line is where they want to be. Guarantee you that. We'll get to know A.D.P.O.V, or A Different Point of View, over a series of questions here in an exclusive interview with Vigilantes Radio. So tune in or call in to learn more about them. There's links for more of their info in the description of this episode, as well as some information on how you can have your own band interviewed and promoted through us here at Vigilantes Radio, right? All right, so let's go ahead and bring them on. All right, hi guys, you're now live in the mix with all of us. How are you feeling and how is it going?
Good morning.
Hey, doing good, thank you.
All right. So shall we dive deep into this interview?
All right.
All right, cool. All right, I know there's a few of you guys here, so I won't try to I guess what to say is when one person say anything, if there's somebody else, just say your name and say, hey, I have something to say too about this question. That way we won't talk over each other.
Okay.
Gotcha. Keep this thing real smooth. All right. So it usually takes years for a group to develop a crafted and polished sound. What is the actual age of your group? A different point of view, and give us a brief history of the formation. Like, what brought you guys together in the first place?
Me and my buddy Joseph Betts, we were recording at a studio, and Warren Diesel Terrell, he hit me up and said, hey, I have a really dope singer and a really dope guitar player. I want to bring them through for today's session. And I was like, heck yeah. So they came through, and this was about a year and a half to 2 years ago. And we had a great session. The first song we recorded was called Broken Keys, which I believe you're going to play today. And, we really just came together out of nowhere, you know what I mean? It just kind of happened, and we started making some music. We had a goal to make an album, and a year and a half, 2 years later, we accomplished that goal. We just put out a video, and now we're moving forward and looking for the next single to put out.
Okay, definitely. And how old is the group again?
2 years.
2 years.
A year and a half.
2 years. All right, that's awesome. And were each of you musically inclined before the formation of this group?
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. So if we can we get a little bio of each member, your names?
I'm Joseph Betts. I'm Joseph Betts. I guess I would say I'm a rap vocalist for the group, songwriter.
Cool. And
I'm Berna Blue. Oh, are we going? Oh, go. You lead.
How did you get started, Bass?
What's that?
How did you get started?
We all got started in different ways. Berna's been singing since she was a little kid. Vic picked up a guitar, and he's just a ridiculous musician. You know what I mean? You could spit some sort of sound out of nowhere, out of your mouth, and he can play that on a guitar, or he can just come up with, just a guitar solo off the top of his head in a couple seconds. Joseph Betts, he's been in the hip-hop scene out here for a long time. Myself, I've been doing it now for about 12 years. I went through a few different groups, had a couple different solo albums out. And Warren Diesel Terrell, he's been around a very, very long time. He's a soulful singer, and he's been behind a lot of different major projects at some point in time. And we just all came together to form our sound out of the blue.
Okay. Was there an original direction the group had started with, and has that changed over the course of these 2 years?
Blue, why don't you answer that?
I think our main purpose was to reach people, preferably the youth, because we wanted to have a positive message instead of, just like everybody else talking about the same stuff, and we want to inspire people through our music, and that's just kind of what we're based out of. We want to be different. We want to have music that says something instead of, just making music just to make it.
Okay. So guys, describe the songwriting process. Who's involved in writing the music, and how does it all come together?
Rico, Joseph.
I don't know, the chemistry. I mean, between Blue, myself, John. I mean, really, it just has to do with anything. I don't know. There's a lot to do with keeping that positive, that positive and negative energy thing you were talking about. There's a lot that transpires through that. So, I mean, get us in a room together. I mean, Berna, myself, and John, and even Vic. Even like John said, his guitar sometimes brings out that soulful feeling that you can get a point across, whether it be in a negative way to bring out the positive, or whether it's a positive that can shine light on something. So it really is a good process getting us in the studio together.
Awesome. So what other influences do each of you bring to the table musically?
You take this one first.
Go ahead, Vic.
Man, well, I don't know. We're all real eclectic, man. I listen to like tons of metal and punk bands, metal bands, and I've been working with stuff for a long time. And John, you know, obviously, you know, the rap influence from them, Burner, she's always been listening to Etta James, all the old school stuff, badass singers, vocalists, like real supreme vocalists. And I think, you know, you can hear a lot of aggressive music within the what we make. But, you know, that soulfulness being tied back with Burner and, you know, John and Rico, everybody just contributing. It's badass, man. We have a good little deal going on. Everybody has like our pocket that we're in. We know where to be and how to be there.
Definitely. All right. And is it rap all the time for you guys? Or has there been like a song recorded with no rap verses at all?
There's always rap verse.
Yeah, there's always a rap verse, but it might be a rap verse. We just did one. Vic led the way, and it's I don't know what it sounds like something from like the 50s or the 60s or even further back with like a kind of, I don't even know how to, like a punk spa. And then, yeah, we rap on that, and then we'll do rock and roll and we'll rap on that, hip hop. But, yeah, me and Joseph Betts we're rappers, and so that's what we do, you know what I mean? If I'm singing on the track, then Burner's probably going to slap me.
All right. All right, guys, who does all the audio engineering for you, and why is that important to you as a group in today's age?
John.
I've done the engineering for us, and it's important to me because some people don't put love into their engineering. They get, you know, I got people that go to large studios and then they come back to my little place on the side of my house, you know what I mean, that we built in under a carport, because it's all about the feeling, you know, being an engineer, you have to be a part of the song, and not only be a part of the song, some engineers step into producing and composing, and I've had a few different people along the way that have taught me that, because I didn't know anything when I started, you know what I mean? So my buddy Tuande, our manager Zigzag from MB Riders taught me a lot, as well as the guy that did a lot of the original production hip-hop wise on our album, Orin Unger. I learned a lot from those people, and just put it all together. And I listened to our group. You know, I try to listen to everybody, and everybody puts in equal input. Sometimes one person might lead the way on a song because it might be more, and you know, if it's a soulful song, then Burner's going to lead the way. If it's a, you know, a East Coast hip-hop feeling type track, then Joseph Betts is going to lead the way. And like Joseph said before, sometimes Vic will just come up with something on his guitar that'll change everybody's mood, and we just do what happens.
All right, so here's the important question of the day. What is the importance of an online presence for a different point of view? Does it reach enough hip-hop fans in your opinion? I see that you guys are represented all over the internet. This is 50 amongst others, and your PR is doing a fabulous job, but in today's age of, you know, fast clicks and short attention span, how is it important for an online presence for you guys?
I'm going to answer this one, and then I'm going to let everybody else answer the next couple questions. To be honest, man, online presence is huge, but there's so many rappers and so many artists out there, it's like a needle in the haystack, you know what I mean? The one thing that I do believe that separates us from the rest of the people is that we made our music from our heart, and our music came a long way. Members from our group during this process have went through trials and tribulations that literally could be part of a movie, you know what I mean, or a documentary or a book, or all three of them. When their stories are told, or our stories are told, it's going to be an amazing story. And you know, it's I'm just happy and blessed to be a part of it.
Definitely.
And as for the online presence, I believe it's huge in the game, and we have to figure out a new way to reach an audience, to be that needle in the haystack, the needle that they do pull out and, you know what I mean, poke themselves with and become infatuated with and just fall in love with our music.
Okay. So what is the immediate future of A Different Point of View looking like?
John answer that.
The top of the world. No, to be honest, it's anywhere that that the wind carries us. I mean, the next podcast, the next show, the next place to bring a different point of view. I mean, Berna, Vic, myself, and John. I mean, we thank you for the opportunity of being on this podcast and being in this seat right now. I mean, it spreads to the listeners. I mean, the music speaks for itself, but I do have to say thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for some great music, man. I got some new records to bump to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew about the music of John, but I didn't know about a different point of view until he shared the video. So, what? Where were you hiding this at, brother? Yeah, so I can't wait for the CD to come out.
That's coming out within the next couple weeks. We're going to independently put it out and then hopefully search for a larger platform to showcase our artwork.
Definitely. What's the title of the CD or the album?
Blue? It's a different point of view.
Yeah, a different point of view.
Okay. And how many treats do we get from this album?
I believe we have about 16 to 18 tracks. We're actually going to be cutting those down this week to probably somewhere around 11 tracks.
Okay. So you guys gonna keep it moving pretty fast to get this CD done, or you have a time frame?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have it out within the next couple weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool deal. All right, guys, with there being like a sea of older hip-hop groups, an entire genre nearly loathed worldwide thanks to the international superstardom of Outkast, Jurassic 5, A Tribe Called Quest, Bone Thugs, Mobb Deep, Dipset, and etc. How can a different point of view stand out from all of that greatness and bring people back to what hip-hop should be and not the watered-down version that's popularized now? I had a few names there, but I didn't want to shoot anybody down. But, yeah, how you guys will stand out?
Berna?
Like I said earlier, it's all about our message that would make us stand out. Just giving a positive message and pretty much inspiring others is our main focus.
I think the more obvious way to stand out is our sound, man. There's nothing that's quite out there. You know, you can just hear the culmination of everyone's background in the music. Like, you can't pin it down to just one genre. And obviously there's some rap in there, but you can hear some rock and roll shit, and you can hear just soulfulness. I think that alone helps us stand out a lot, man. You won't find anything.
Definitely, Vic.
Definitely. All right. So your website, 3620.com, has a few of your singles and projects available for sale. And we have this conversation a lot between independent artists. Do you worry if that may hurt your listener base? Or is there another benefit from doing this that outweighs giving away free music?
I think, we give away free music too. In all reality, when you put something on YouTube or you put something on SoundClick or anything like that, people can click it on their phone and listen to it for free all day long. What I hope that people start doing is supporting the art. You know what I mean? When I was young, I started listening to R&B. I go buy a Boyz II Men CD. You know what I mean? When I started listening to hip-hop, I go buy a House of Pain CD. I go buy Ice Cube. You know what I mean? I would support those people. And if we're going to put the time, the money, and the effort to make our videos be just like Interscope's videos, to have our beats and our lyrics and everything else sound like top-notch everything, then I believe we should be paid for our artwork. You know what I mean? The other hand, I would love to give it away for free. If we had 500 people to come to one of our shows, I would love to give every single one of those person a CD, and when we get to that point, I will. You know what I mean? It is a thin line, but like I said first, I believe people should respect art. Our lives are in this record. This record is alive. You know what I mean? When somebody paints a picture and hangs it on a wall, They can sell it for anywhere from 1 cent to $1 gazillion. It don't matter. That's their price that they're putting on their art. And our art is priceless, but at the same time, we would love people's support so that way, independently, we can continue to put out high-grade material instead of not being able to do that.
Definitely. All right. If you guys could take 5 minutes of advice from any artist, who would you choose and why?
One at a time. Let's go. Whoever first.
Does it have to be artists per se? I mean, there's plenty of people in the game that I would just like to at least listen to and soak up information that deal with artists on a daily basis. Like, there's a lot of A&Rs, like, there's a lot of people. If it had to come from an artist, me per se, at this point in time,
I'm saying Ziggy Marley. I'm saying Ziggy Marley.
Bruno Mars.
Vic, Blue?
Why Bruno Mars?
I like Lauryn Hill's approach because he sings and he does hip-hop at the same time, so I say Lauryn Hill.
Cool.
You know, for me, I think it would be someone like, maybe perhaps Tech Nine. You know, he's huge on production, his music is all over the place, but it's not mainstream at the same time. You know, it's a real good example of what you can do without being a slave to corporations, man. Like, the Kendrick Lamar track with Tech Nine, Fragile, whatever, it was like the one song on radio, but every other song, I know tons of people that they love the music, everybody knows about it, but also they don't at the same time. It's crazy, and I like that duality. You still have that realness, you know, when things are smaller, you got that community and people support it. I think I would like to have a few minutes with Tech Nine just to understand his music production and how he gets out, how he gets his message across. So many people, but still under the radar at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, guys. Give us a 5-year plan. What can your fans expect to see from you in terms of music growth and live shows?
That's up to God and the spirits that have blessed us and watched over us. Because honestly, without that, we wouldn't even be here right now. So to look 5 years into the future and say where we're going to be at, I just wanted to, you know, like Joseph said, leave it in the wind, let it blow, and give it all we got. And when the chips fall, I hope to be standing with my brothers and my sister on a stage with 100,000 people in front of us.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's shout-out time. Point a finger to some groups. One commercial, one indie, if you can name them, who are absolutely musically nailing it right now. And why do you think so?
Who wants to go first?
I would say groups that are nailing it right now. To be honest, man, I don't really listen to newer stuff. I listen to like 60s and 70s music and Bob Marley, and I would like to say a group that's nailing it is all Bob Marley's sons and his whole family. Man, they got like 7 or 8 people that are making beautiful music. I looked on the website, you guys got the song with Busy and Bone Thugs, and they got Stephen Marley on it, you know what I mean? And so I would say a group would be a group of brothers, and that's the Marley Brothers. Independently, there's a group out here in Arizona called Heat. They're an R&B group, and you know, they have a real deal sound, you know what I mean? They've recorded at the Salt Mine, which is a gazillion-dollar facility. Everybody from Lil Wayne and on down the list is recorded there. They do their own shows. They've been grinding for countless years. So I would have to say the R&B group Heat for an independent one.
For my commercial guy, I would say Post Malone's probably, he's killing it right now, man. And his style, you know, there's something very musical about his music. It's not just some beats and some rap. There's something alive there. You know, me coming from the guitars, and music, you know, Post Malone, he's a badass guitarist, man. And the crazy thing, I didn't really notice that. But I just like his sound, man. You got something to say, and of course the music. Music is what gets me all the time, man. And for indie, you know, there's a group out here. They're called Nomada. They're a Mexican ska punk band, and you know, there's some like rapping phrases in their music, and their genre blending as well. Reggae, punk, all kinds of weird stuff, and they got a real nice presence out here in Phoenix. So I think indie is gonna be Nomada for sure. Real cool dudes.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else?
No.
No.
And
All right.
if I can say A.D.P.O.V.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we have to say independent, I would have to go back to that the whole Strange camp, Tech Nine, and Brother Lynch, and Twisted. Everybody from that label has put in a group effort, but also their independent, their solo effort. You know, seeing them together is like you notice the Strange movement, and then even independently you notice the Strange movement. It's like no matter what, you can feel that presence, and that's a strong presence, and I like the way they've been moving.
Definitely. All right, guys, what are some of the goals to achieve that will really make you feel like you've made it once they're accomplished?
I'd like one of our songs to be played on a real hip-hop station in New York, next to Snoop Dogg and all the other people, not during a local show or nothing like that. You know what I mean? If it reaches from Arizona to New York, from hip-hop, where hip-hop started, and it's on the mainstream radio, then I will feel that at that point we're reaching the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, another plateau. I would have to say that. I would have to agree with that.
Sorry, Rico?
No, I was just agreeing with that.
Okay. For me, I think, man, I know a guy, he's a drummer, and we were playing a show not so long ago, and someone went up to him, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I used to see you when you were way back when, and your music you were writing always reached out to me." He's like, "And you didn't notice, and, you know, why would you ever even care?" He's like, "But I was going through some hard times, and you and your music, it helped me." I would love for that. I would love for some kid, maybe he was like 16 years old, and somewhere down the line he sees me again, and you know, that for some reason I influenced his life in a good way. You know, that would let me know that I'm accomplished for sure. That's just reach out and touch people, man.
Definitely. All right. So I think there's some incredibly unique about the composition of the music of a different point of view. I really do. And I first listened to the track Shut It Down. It reminds me of Cypress Hill, but the flow is on steroids. The tone is mildly aggressive with a lot of fun, with a hell of a lot of more flavor added. So I dig the contrast between the overall messages, the badass guitar, the badass singer, and the rap verses. And I appreciate the deep pulse of rhythm in each song that I've heard so far. Again, I think there's a lot going on here, so much and so radically different in their ideas, and sometimes that is very interesting how they all come together in the end. So how does this happen anyway? And as a crew, how do you go about deciding who gets what part on a track?
Basically, like the song Shut It Down, for instance, that song, we first started, it came onto the beat, just an original, Atlanta type hip hop beat, you know what I mean? And then, so we flipped it out from there. I recomposed it a little bit differently. Vic went in on the guitar. We did a step to the spot and we came to shut it down. We did all that. And then, that's where we left it at that point. There was no, Burner wasn't singing on the hook at that point. There wasn't no Beastie Boy type, shut it down in the back. There was like a very dry, simple hook. In the studio, we kind of just let it figure itself out, you know what I mean? People spit their verse or whatever, or Burner will do the hook, and then whoever's verse sounds like it should go first will do that. And then after we've created, then I go back and I recompose it. Sometimes it's terrible. It took a long time to get to that point. If I showed you how many bounces there was from that song on my computer, you'd be like, yeah, that took a while, man. But I don't know, man. To be honest with you, there is a whole lot going on. So much to the point where some people probably hate the song for that fact, and some people will love the song because they've never heard anything like it. I don't know, man. I just blaze up a little medical 420 and zone out and just, go off into the Pro Tools world and compose the song how my head hears it at that time. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's terrible, and I got to go back at it. But with Shut It Down, I love how it came out. We got with the great videographer. She did a great job of putting the picture that we wanted to put together. And, the best part about it is all of it comes from nowhere. And that nowhere is somewhere, but I can't see it, so I can't explain it.
Yeah. So do all of you guys have to be on a track for it to be a different point of view track?
I'd say so. We all try to collaborate on each song.
Yeah, for the most part, like the core, me, Joseph Betts, Vic, and Berna, we're on every single song. And then we have our brother Warren Diesel Terrell. He's on about anywhere from 4 to 6 songs, depending on which songs we put on the album. He's a huge part in our group. He's just dealing with a few things in his life at this point where he can't make a huge commitment to all the work that we have to put in. I guess he's kind of like the dude in the Black Eyed Peas, you know what I mean? That's on a few tracks on the album, but just way, in my opinion, humbly, my brother is extremely talented, man. His voice is huge, and when he decides to change the world with his voice, he will change the world with his voice. He's an amazing singer. But to answer the question, as long as 3 of us are on it, it's an A.D.P.O.V track, but I love with it 4 or 5 of us are on it because that means we're all kicking it together and making beautiful music.
Definitely. I like that. All right, guys, after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the Hot Seat, and this is the popular part of our show, but of course along with the actual interview. But the audience get to hear either some vocals, maybe a poem, inspirational speech, maybe spoken word, maybe a freestyle rap or a joke or two or a story, or maybe even a live instrument from our special guests. Well, you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight, and this morning we'll find out if a different point of view have what it takes to be put on that spot, a test of their true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talent. But for now, guys, introduce the song that we're about to play and tell us the 411 on it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear Broken Keys, the first song we ever did together. The 411 on it is, at that time, Mike Garner had just been choked to death, and I watched that on TV, and that was something that was hard to see. We came to the studio. The song was already produced as Broken Keys and A.D.P.O.V with a sample on it. Berta came through and sang her ass off on the hook. Vic shredded the guitars. We put the verses together, and it's called Broken Keys and A.D.P.O.V, symbolizing the broken keys between races, but specifically between white and black people. Let's fix the keys and let's sing some beautiful music regardless of your skin tone.
Definitely. All right, here it is, Broken Keys.
Hey.
3620.
Story's the same. Every story's the same. From those cotton fields and chains, we survived and we made it through. They giving life in cages, they raising us like animals. And I'm just in the world like I promised we gon' eat. I'ma find one, and if it ain't there, we gon' make a way. Breaking the laws they made before I ever break the code. I had a couple broken keys in my kitchen, I admit it. I used to dream Dr. King until those means got necessary. Choices got made and second chances rarely happen. So let's hope I see the man in the mirror they be talking about. No sleep, working hard through the night shift, fighting just to live and dying to stay alive. Doctors told me slow it down, but I know my people need me.
All of you have understand what I say. I mean, good is the best, black, white, all things.
play peaceful, why can't we? Would you still see color if you could not see? If you get cut, what color do you bleed? If it's pitched from a distance, you really see me? Way past the cover of the book, we have a red dish. Divided by uniqueness, seas still split. Separate steady, borders are heavy, guns are drawn, and ropes are ready. There's rights in the streets, we yelling out police. Flags on the ground, but I hear peace through the beat. It become part of the song, then it really don't matter who's wrong. Broken keys and Al Capone, everybody sing along, no matter what your skin tone is. Start living, break the cycle, man in the mirror, something like Michael. Unbroken, that's survival. Across the field, that's your rival. This game of life, you gotta go for the title. Gotta play hard, go strong. The team broke keys, get fixed when we see past fear, start living in our dreams.
When Rice was shot, he had an airsoft gun. Police say he's real. The way Samir died at the hands of an officer. Hard to explain to your siblings.
Waking up and moving on. Broken keys and Al Capone. Waking up and moving on. Broken keys and Al Capone. Waking up and moving on. Broken keys and Al Capone.
Good evening. For the second time in as many weeks, a grand jury has found the evidence is just not there to charge a white police officer in connection with the death of a black civilian. This time, it's in the biggest city in the nation, packing tourists for the holiday season. One of the officers employed a chokehold. Moments later, while on the ground after complaining he couldn't breathe, he was dead.
Our sons, they may not be here in body, but they're here with us in each and every one of you.
My goodness, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Every time they wake up, they asking about him. When they go to sleep, they asking about him.
All right, guys, we are back, and that was a different point of view. Broken keys. Man, Vic definitely set that track up perfectly with the first riff of that guitar, and then the verses were just super dope. The singing, of course, was phenomenal. All right, guys, a change of scenery. Often I'm working late at night on projects that just have to be finished, and I get tired. I get to the point where I feel like I just can't stay awake anymore, so I put on my headphones and jam to some music. It's usually rock, alternative rock, some metal, and it revives me almost instantly. I'm able to work another hour or two. And it's amazing how a change of scenery or a change of energy can revive the body and spirit. Traveling always has that effect on me as well. Being in a different environment, moving from place to place, seems to give me added energy and open my minds to new ideas. And as you guys know, I'm kind of on tour right now, and I still do my radio show, right? It's because different places give me energy to do all these things. And while it's important to focus your energy, it's a mistake to focus on any one thing for too long at a stretch. You lose perspective. Your mind closes to new ways of doing something. Taking a walk or driving somewhere new or reading through a magazine you've never looked at before can give you fresh ideas and expanded perspective. Changing your focus for a little while is not a waste of time at all. It helps you come back to a job at hand with renewed energy and ideas. So try it. Take it from me, Dini. And with that, let's bring the guest of the hour back. I think we still have Vic on and JRE. Hey, guys.
Right now, I believe we still got JRE, Joseph Betts, and Burner Blue. Maybe Vic was at work, so Boss Man was giving him that look.
Yeah. All right, cool deal. All right, guys. Well, you are in you're in a hot seat. So what did you have for us this morning?
Blue, you want to sing some old school acapella?
Sure. What am I
Or
doing?
you want me to... What's up?
Go ahead.
You want me to rap something?
Sure, yes.
Okay. All right. What's that, D?
I'll think of something while you do something.
Okay. I'll spit a quick verse. Respect is earned, not given, so shut the fuck up, sit down and listen. Or better yet, you can watch like that fake shit on your wrist that really don't glisten. I'm what the beat's been missing. A motherfucking beast on the mic on the mission. Locks on the beat, it knocks through the street, straight hitting. Steroid shit when my pen hits the pad. Home run, man, out the park, watch me touch every bag. and I ain't got no need to sell, because you can succeed if you ain't stuck in a cell. You can't find heaven when you walking through hell. But that's how the page mapped it. Cursed by what we read, then forced to reenact it. But I'd rather write my own book than follow the rules. A king with no heart is just a waste of a crown and some jewels.
So.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, it was a little, just wrote that, so I was a little, hit a part where I fell off. But, that, that's just lyrics I write when I'm just chilling. Blue, you got anything?
Some old school. I'm trying to think of just a song. Okay. This is just my vocals. This is an original. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'll be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. As long as love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, that's Burner Blue.
All right, guys. Anyone else?
Joe Ben said he's cool. He ain't had his morning black and mild yet. I'm sorry.
All right.
But if you put on a beat and give him a pen that he ain't never heard to, he'll have a verse in like 10 minutes later.
I bet, man. He has a strong voice too. Strong voice.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, hey guys, let everyone know they can connect with you on the web.
You can search 3620, which is 36TWENTY.com. If you want to go see some of Burna's videos on YouTube where she's singing old school stuff, that's just search Burna Blue, BERNABLU. Vic Tellez, VICTELLEZ. He has some stuff on YouTube, just shredding the guitar. We have our album coming out within the next couple weeks called A Different Point of View. We would love if everybody supports it and, just take their time to listen. That's all we can ask for.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or our website, which is only1mediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or send something for us to play, email it to theRadio@only1mediagroup.com. Here my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, something you got to deal with. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, dini-mussolini, I appreciate you guys for tuning in either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. And also special thanks to our guests for joining us. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr. We are all over. Just connect with us and we do follow back. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.